As always happens, because public servants don't seem to comprehend the fact that they have no expectations of privacy when they're performing their public duties under the public dime. There's two videos. There's one there where I'm showing the OIA to a certain Mark Poppelwell, who's the Registrar Sheriff of Taranaki District. He's the guy who handles the Ministry of Justice court buildings, okay? He's the building services manager, if you want to call him that. Scared little man that he is. Now, you know, instead of sending a stupid cease and desist letter to someone that has no say over what I post on my channel, this guy actually used his brain, and I'm sure he's got one. He used his brain because instead of complaining and doing scare tactics using lawyers, he actually used the YouTube complaint service. Because if you have an issue with something on YouTube, you fucking file a complaint to them like any normal person would. So yeah, oh, copy's pulling him over. So Mark Poppelwell, I'm guessing it's him because it's the only two videos that seem to mention him in any way, shape or form, has gone and filed a privacy complaint. Oh, the poor wee creature. Watch out for that guy in the mirror. He might scare you. This poor little creature has filed two privacy complaints to YouTube. The one video was the OIA letter that I show you that we filed to Mark Poppelwell in regards to the unlawful, valid and void, frivolous, vexatious trespass that they gave Paula, telling her she can't go to a public building, Hawera Court, without any reasonable grounds, and we're still waiting for the OIA to come back on that one. And then the second video that he tried to file a complaint on was the one where I'm interviewing Arthur Taylor. Now, normally with privacy complaints, I usually just run the face blur tool. Face blur will just blur out any mention of or any identity of anybody that may have a misconception of some sort of privacy in public, and that usually stops any privacy complaint. However, in this one, Mark, his face doesn't even show. His name, email address, contact details are all public information and therefore not private. So this twit has gone ahead and filed two privacy complaints. I'm not even going to bother editing one of them. One I will, I'll throw a face blur in there just for shits and giggles, because like I give a fuck if you actually see the person's face or not. It's the information in the videos that I put up that's of interest, not what these fucking dickheads actually look like. Who gives a fuck what they look like? Alright? But one of them I've run a face blurring tool, the other one I haven't touched at all. Why? Because there is no breach of privacy. And in 2 days time, because YouTube gives you 48 hours to rectify the issue, give you a chance to either take it down, face blur, whatever. So in 48 hours time, when the videos are still up, Mark, you might have to try another avenue. You might want to, you know, perhaps look at what you're doing wrong instead of trying to say everybody else is doing things wrong. You might want to look at the OIA, at what, if there are any reasonable grounds. I personally think Paula was trespassed from Hawera Court in retaliation for us holding them accountable and recording that interaction. Paula didn't know. Why would she? However, Super Sleuth security guard, I mean, he tried his privacy breach. Are the videos still up there? Yes, they are. Why? Because I blurred his ugly fucking mug out of the picture and it stays up. What's written in text, as long as it's publicly available information, like a public servant's contact details, there is no breach. So it just goes to show, and no doubt these pricks probably filed these privacy complaints while they were on fucking public dying too. They would have done it at work. I'm sure they wouldn't have done it at home, but that's just a presumption. I'm making it without any facts, so I can presume all I like. I don't really assume fuck all. So, yeah, I'll leave that for you guys to think of, but it just goes to show yet another person with a little bit of power and authority tries to be a bully. And he doesn't like it when accountability comes knocking on his doorstep, so he tries pulling this shit. Big ups to him for actually using the correct procedure, the YouTube complaints process, but you've got to have actual grounds to make a complaint, you numbnuts. And at the moment, you don't have any. You know, perhaps I'll get a letter next from a lawyer saying cease and desist. Cease and desist what? Exercising my rights? My right to seek, receive and impart information and opinions of any kind in any form? Because that's what I'm doing. If you don't like the rights, go to another country. You know? Fuck off somewhere else. Because me and quite a few other people in this country have had a fucking guts full of these overreaching, power fucking hungry muppets that think they have some greater authority while working as a public servant. Last time I checked, servants don't tell the people they serve what they can and can't do. They take their fucking order and they do as they're fucking told. You got that? Public servants, do as you're fucking told. And yeah, these days, thanks to the State Sector Act, they're more state servants than they are public servants. But yeah, moving on. You know, I still absolutely love the fact that people that are going through and watching my videos, you know, I'm talking from 5 years ago, and 5 years ago I didn't know anywhere near as much as I did now. And granted, you go through those stages while you learn all of this knowledge of, first of all, you get it and you get that, I don't believe it. It's non-belief, because you can't believe the scam that's been pulled over you. Then you get angry. And 5 years ago, that was the stage I was at. I was angry. I wanted to hold people accountable. I was pissed off that we've been all lied to for so long. These days, the anger's gone. Because with more knowledge, it takes away the anger. And I've learned a shitload. So, yeah, for those trolls that like to say you've got anger issues or stuff like that, probably did back then. I don't now. And you know, anyone that wants to jump on my videos and troll me and say, oh, you know, seek help, I didn't need to. All I did was seek knowledge and a bit of comprehension and understanding of how the whole thing works. You got to realize, and this is the hard thing, especially for family courts and people, because it is such an emotional turmoil. You cannot expect a two-dimensional entity such as the Ministry of Justice or the court system to have empathy or emotion. They don't have it. They exist because of bits of paper written on, words written on paper, and the only thing that gives them life is man acting upon those words. Alright? That's why court systems, judiciaries, they don't have any emotion. They don't take into consideration your emotional upset or anything that you've gone through. Why? Because they don't have emotion. They're not living people. They are entities. Anyway, thought I'd leave you with that. I've been making a few of these vids on my trip today because traffic is a fucking nightmare on the 23rd of December. I'll catch you guys later on. See ya.